saw it, has it blocked. The fifth block for Serge Ibaka on the Russell Westbrook.
It kind of feels like the argument about who's better between Chris Paul or Russell Westbrook has been talked about for decades now. Well, in today's video, we're going to finally dive deeper into that question and find out who we think is the better player, judging off a number of different categories. As always, stats are usually where these debates start, so let's cover Chris Paul first before moving on to Russell Westbrook on the stat sheet. Paul has played 17 seasons in the NBA and is coming off a year with the Phoenix Suns when he played in 65 games and averaged 14.7 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 10.8 assists per game. He's not quite as great offensively as he used to be, but that leadership and playmaking ability really doesn't get any better. Over the course of his career, Paul has played in 1,155 games and he averages 18.1 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 9.5 assists per game during that span. Now, as you can expect from a guy who's been around the game for so long, his totals are off the charts. He's put up a total of 20,936 points, 5,206 rebounds, and 10,977 assists. And finally, we got to talk about his best season in the league, and we think that came with the New Orleans Hornets back in 2008-2009. He was putting up 22.8 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 11 assists, and also 2.8 steals per game that year. All of those were career highs in a single season for him outside of assists, which he set the year prior at 11.6. Alright, now on to Russ. He's been around for an equally long time, and he just played in 78 games for the Los Angeles Lakers, averaging 18.5 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 7.1 assists per game. Westbrook is usually always great on the stat sheet. Over the course of his career, Russ has played in 1,021 games and averages 22.8 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 8.4 assists a night. All these numbers are better than CP3 outside of assists, which is just one under. And he's also got similar numbers in the totals department, with Westbrook scoring 23,298 points, grabbing 7,541 rebounds, and dishing out 8,611 assists. Finally, his best career year came with the Oklahoma City Thunder in 2016-17. That year, he averaged a triple-double, 31.6 points, 10.7 rebounds, and 10.4 assists. One of the best statistical seasons the league has ever seen. So based off these numbers that we've covered in this category alone, I gotta give a slight edge to Westbrook. His numbers are simply off the charts in all areas of the game.
Wins.
Now we'll move on to the games that Chris Paul and Russ have played against one another, both in the postseason and in the regular season. In total, we've seen them square off 48 times, 39 of them coming in the regular season. Chris Paul leads the way with 26 of those total 48 games won compared to Westbrook's 22. In the playoffs, on the other hand, Westbrook has won more games against Paul, taking 6 compared to CP3's 3. As for the numbers these two have put up, you can honestly put this one out to a flat-out draw. Paul averages 19.6 points, 4.9 rebounds, 9.6 assists, and 2.5 steals a game when going up against Westbrook, and Russ averages 22.1 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 7.6 assists and 1.6 steals against the point guard. So if we give these two a tie on the statistical side of things here, the category has got to be given to CP3. He's beaten Russ 4 more times than he's lost to him, though the lead in this category is really slim.
Wins.
Now, another crucial topic in deciding which of these players is better is looking into their accolades. Let's start with Paul first. CP3 is one of those legendary players who's never been able to make it into the NBA Finals and come out on top. He has 0 championship to his name, which also means he doesn't yet have a Finals MVP award either. Shockingly, Paul has never won the league MVP either. However, other than those shortcomings, the accolades really do pour in for him. Paul's been selected into an All-NBA team 11 times over his career. This is ranging from the first all the way to the third team. Paul has also been voted into the NBA All-Star game a total of 11 times. If neither of those were enough for you, the point guard has even been selected onto the NBA All-Defensive team 9 times. On the other end, you have Westbrook, another player who doesn't have a championship to his name. Of course, that also means there aren't any Finals MVP awards for him either. Russ does have a league MVP award for averaging a triple-double throughout an entire season, though, which is really impressive. That's about the highlight of his accolades, though. Other than that, Russ has made it into the All-NBA roster 9 times compared to CP3's 11. He's made it into 9 All-Star games compared to Paul's 11. And then finally, Russ doesn't have a single appearance on the All-Defensive team out to this point in his career. So yes, Russ does have that one MVP award, but we think Paul beats him everywhere else.
Wins.
Alright, moving on, team success is next up on the list of things to cover before we decide a winner. Russell Westbrook gets picked on an awful lot for not raising the floors of the teams that he's been on. The most success that he's had in the postseason came when Kevin Durant was playing alongside him to make them that much better. People also sometimes point to him putting up useless numbers such as the triple-doubles, when in fact his numbers are the reason that they keep winning. Russell Westbrook teams win 70% of the time when he records a triple-double during the game. This has helped him have a career win share percentage of 106 up to this point in his career. Now again, he's not really been that type of winning player since Durant left the Thunder, but that could also be due to his age getting up there and how it contradicts the way he plays the game of basketball. Meanwhile, Chris Paul couldn't be further from the opposite. Paul is considered one of the best floor raisers the league has ever seen. The talent that he can drag into the postseason is truly remarkable when you actually think about it. He helped the Lob City Clippers become a consistent force in the playoffs even though they never really took that next step. And then he traveled to play with the Houston Rockets and made them NBA Finals contenders for a few years. And then he stopped with the Oklahoma City Thunder and took a rebuilding team into the playoffs. And of course, most recently, he stopped with the Phoenix Suns to bring them into the playoffs every year and even the NBA Finals once. Paul's win shares currently sit at 198.9 over the course of his career, nearly double the number that Russ has to his name at this point. Russ is a great player, but every team that Paul has been on looks dramatically better compared to when he wasn't there anymore. We think CP3 easily takes this category of team success.
Wins.
Now before we jump into another topic, let's just take a brief moment in the video to cover a few highlights from these two players' historic careers, just to give you all a bit of a taste of what we're talking about.
I know Schroeder's made, 8 free throws. But as Russ does it again! Throw it down, Russ! Play it to the crowd, Russ.
Now, their bench is just 2 out of 12 from beyond the arc.
Russ! Throw it down! Throw it down, Russ!
1-2 pick and roll, Harden and Paul. Oh, Chris Paul. Ooh, it's got to go in, Smitty. It's got to go in, Smitty. You are the president of Smitty's top plays under the rim. Can that go?
Rebounds and the steal. Oh, don't do that.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that is not fair.
Oh, my goodness.
Like,
appreciate this.
Like, dance.
Now, when you look at these two players, their play styles are so different and they're known for different things. Russ is known to be an aggressive, all-out point guard that doesn't shy away from attacking the rim and putting people on edge. He doesn't shoot the ball very well, but he always finds his way into the paint for rebounds and fast break opportunities. Now as for Paul, he is a generational point guard who raises the level of his team's offense. He always knows who's open on any given possession, and he can also score whenever he really sets his mind to it. His leadership and winning abilities really just take him over the top here.
Wins.
Now with that being said, we come down to the winner, and in our personal opinion, we've got to roll with Chris Paul as the winner of this debate. Don't get me wrong, Russ is a great player with his own excellent set of skills, but Paul just has more intangibles than Westbrook does. Russ has the better numbers almost across the board, but the point god is nicknamed this for a reason. Let us know down below if you think that Russ should be considered the better player, or if you agree with us that it's Paul.